All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Jacksonville Jaguars. This will be fielded at the 6. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35, but make it the 40-yard line.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Rosen on 1st and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cox. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Watch him now, Barney!
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Rosen will throw. It's caught. Nelson. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the 1st down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. Well, and you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big. Now a carry here for Orleans Darkwa. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the 1st half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. And hauling it in, Nelson. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Hey.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley, and he'll get this one up to the 26. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On play action, now Bortles. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Green 39! Green 39!
On 2nd down, Rosen. Caught by Snead over the middle. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll run with Darquan. And some room to roam now. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Josh Rosen. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, TJ Logan. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Darkwan. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
From the gun, it's Rosen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what 2nd down brings. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Bortles. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And he'll be marked down at the 2-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. On the run, Darkwan. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Second and goal from the 1.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They get it to him running left. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Orleans Darkwa, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Bortles to the former Jets, Seferian-Jenkins for the Jags' first down. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Terrell Suggs in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Green 80. Green 80.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hank.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And this will be taken at the 13. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Janoris Jenkins. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
And, Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 44. So after the INT, it's Bortles. And incomplete on the deep ball. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A handoff to Barkley. And some room to work. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here.
Green 80. Move.
They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
Now Bortles. And this one caught by Hunter over the middle. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. From the gun, it's Bortles. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. He spins free. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and goal. To throw, it's Bortles. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Dante Moncrief, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score. Extra point good by Catanzaro, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Leopard! Leopard!
Off the play fake. Here's Rosen. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Dante Fowler in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Here we go now. 3-19! 3-19!
3rd and long here for Rosen. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Josh Jackson, the former Iowa Hawkeye, made the play defensively.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Let's go, let's go.
It's Barkley on the counter. They find some open field here. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Hey.
On second down, here's Bortles. Over the middle, complete. That's Hunter. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
Here we go. Four down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 10 more there and another first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
Punch right.
Now Bortles. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose, and the Ravens have got it.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Rosen looking to throw. Caught by Nelson left side. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Darquan. And an alley to run. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team, We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8.
Hey. 4 down. 11B.
Here's Bortles to throw. And he's got Moncrief. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Let's go. 4 down. Check. 4 down. Hey, Mike's 50.
Again, it's Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made by the corner, Jimmy Smith. So he runs it for 1 yard, then no gain. I don't know that you go back to that well here on 3rd down.
Yeah, I don't know that you do as well, but if you want to get the ball to him, if you want him to have it, maybe you get him into space and throw it to him.
The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Bortles now to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hunter. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear. But here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on 4th.
Green 80. Green 80. Green is all right. Watch the pass. Here we go. It's all right. Bunch right.
They'll go for it. It's Bortles. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. after the interception. Here's Rosen. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. Now, he's got their only touchdown. This offense struggling. They target him again.
Everyone is looking for the hot hand, and sometimes you just don't have it. Maybe it's just lukewarm. But you go to that guy and try and turn it hot. Try and get things going. Find a way to get everything kick-started. As you noted, he has their only touchdown, so he's had the most success in the game thus far.
11.
On first down, Bortles. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. The pitch goes to Barkley. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time, and that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching, and there was another first down run right there.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Bunch right. Green is right.
Here's a give to Barkley, and he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
Lucy.
Now they'll throw it. Bortles. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Dante Moncrief. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Jaguars are back within a score. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run again now with Darkwa. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd down. Now it's Rosen. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here we go.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Lucy. 4 down.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Over the middle, hauled in by Sharp. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one goes for 24 yards. Bortles now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
380.
Now Saquon Barkley. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, Gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They come out here in the eye.
All good. 57, Mike, 57. All good.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars have moved down in front here in the fourth quarter. Extra point good by Catanzaro, and that will make this a 4-point game. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Throw left side complete. It's Cox. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. The Ravens on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Rosen to throw. It's caught. Nelson. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. And now it's Rosen looking. Caught right side. It's Snead. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Throwing now, Rosen on first down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now it's Barkley, able to spin free, and he's got room. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Right back to him on first down. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Lucy.
Shotgun now for Bortles. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And the Ravens taking the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And
my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Set. Green 80.
On the run, it's Barkley. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. They are in the 4th and Buffalo. And the Bills have now opened up a 2-touchdown lead. If they hold on, a victory there would be their 3rd of the year. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Green 80. Green 80.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Dante Fowler in on the stop.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again. Then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. On 2nd down, Rosen. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Dante Fowler in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. Barkley running left. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Barkley. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now, third and long. On third down, Barkley. And not much running room. Down to the 32. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks. Huge first down. Got to hurry.
Yeah, now they have to get up there, get set, and then spike it.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw, and that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for Baltimore, and even 50 yards.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Throwing now is Rosen. And his throw here is incomplete. There was the free safety to Sean Gibson, who was able to range over and knock it away. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you describe that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see you.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
Here's Rosen. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the 4th. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for 2 and decide it right now.
A very important extra point there, up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range, not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Running left, it's Barkley. And some space here. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Missed tackles may doom this team.
I just had a bad flashback. That's why I'm sitting up here with you right now. You've got to tackle him inbounds. You've got to wrap him up.
Omaha.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he's got some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now they'll run on the draw. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Calais Campbell on the stop.
What an advantage having a elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is fielded at the 27. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The Jaguars getting set to go. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Part 1 is done, now part 2. A toss out to Barkley. Finding some room at midfield. Room here to run. The 20, 10, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. A partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special.